I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first started YouTube, I wasn't comfortable at all. I didn't know how to be myself, and my wife even used to say,
how come you're not being yourself?
And I didn't know what she was talking about until sometime later I went back and watched the video and said,
ooh, I don't like the way I look, and I don't like the way I'm acting.
What's going on, people of YouTube? I was very stiff and rigid.
Oh no!
And I thought I had to be something that y'all would approve of. But now that I've done a few videos, I understand that it just really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because people are going to think what they're gonna think no matter what. I really don't like it. But even that wasn't and isn't the hardest part of YouTube. One of the hardest parts of YouTube is recording yourself. Am I in the frame? When you're behind the camera, holding the camera, setting up your mics, editing, setting up your lights, all those things that have to do with recording a video, it gets difficult. One of the hardest parts in all of the technicalities of things is monitoring yourself. That's why I love things like flip out screens. These screens help you to be able to frame yourself up and get yourself together. But the problem comes in when you want to do more creative shots and your camera is a little ways from you. You got this little monitor that you're looking at, and even if you get an external monitor, typically that external monitor is mounted on the camera, and then you can get creative with it and put it on a light stand, but still now you got this cord hanging in front of you and you're kind of limited with where you can go. But this TP Mini wireless HDMI transmitter is a lifesaver. If you don't know how this works, you plug this thing into your camera and it wirelessly sends your video signal to your monitor. If you have an external monitor, you can send it directly to it, and it just makes things a lot easier. You can carry the monitor around with you, and you're not stuck in one spot. Your camera is stuck in one spot, but you can move around with this monitor and move your chair around if you need to, and get your shot so that it looks good. And the good thing about this is it's only $89, and I think that's worth it, and I think you guys should check it out. Now I will say this, if you decide to get this thing, I highly recommend getting something like the Andycine A6II, which is a monitor I reviewed not too long ago. But the great thing about this monitor is that it has a accessory connection on the back that allows you to connect this HDMI wireless transmitter directly to the monitor, and that just makes this compact little thing that you can carry around, and it just makes it so much easier to hold. Instead of having this big thing sticking off the top, you got to find a way to try to mount it to your monitor. It just makes it so much easier. So check that out. So I'm doing a test right now just because this is the kind of stuff that you guys like to see. I'm sitting out in one of my vehicles. I'm outside. I'm probably about 300 feet away from my camera. It's going through walls. It's going through this vehicle here, the metal and all of that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that this is how you would actually use this. I'm just showing you what it is capable of. And I think there are a lot of creative ways that you can use this here. But one of the biggest reasons, or one of the biggest things that I think this can be used for, is just to make things a lot easier when you're recording. Like I said before, one of the biggest and the hardest things when you're recording yourself is monitoring yourself. Yes, you have monitors that are on camera. Yes, you have HDMI cables, but after so long, there's only so long you want to have an HDMI cable before it starts to become cumbersome. You start tripping over it. You start having all kinds of other issues. But to be able to have a monitor and everything's compact and all in one, and you can still measure everything. You can look at false color. You can look at your focus. You can look at all of the stuff that you need to do as if you were right there by your camera. The only thing I wish you could do is control your camera with this thing here. Now, you can use, if you're using like the Sony ZV E10, you can use the Creator app to do that with. So you can have your phone in one hand, you can have your monitor in the other. But just to be able to get a good, crisp, clear signal that's wireless is really invaluable. I mean, you really can't beat something like this. So again, I'm not one that would probably use this like this, but I'm just showing you a creative way to actually use this thing. But because I know you guys like to see stuff like this, that's the only reason why I'm doing that. But I highly recommend this thing, and I'm not just saying that just because they sent it to me, but because it actually is a really good product, I believe, and I'm going to be using it a lot more You guys are probably gonna see certain videos with this in it. Maybe not necessarily featured, but I'm gonna be using it and you guys will see what I'm talking about. But you really can't beat this Shimbol mini HDMI receiver. It's really nice. Let me know if this is something that y'all would probably get for yourself. Like I said, it's only $89. It's not that expensive. But let me know in the comments below what you think. But until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out. Peace.